Hi, my name is Jeff Bagshaw. Welcome to the bodysolid total body home conditioning program. What we're going to do today is demonstrate a wide variety of exercises that you can do on your bodysolid home gym. Now, taking a look at the gym we have here today, you may notice that it's slightly different from the one you have. Don't worry about that though. We're going to demonstrate such a wide variety of exercises that it's going to apply to whichever one of the gyms that you have in the bodysolid line. Now, I'd like to take a second and introduce Jen to you. Hi, Jen.
Hi.
Jen's going to demonstrate those exercises for us today and show just how much fun working out can be. First off though, what I'm going to have you do is go back on the DVD to the warm-up section. Take a couple minutes and review that. Make sure you're thoroughly warm before we proceed any further. Then you're going to click on that body part that you're interested in working today, and we're going to go from there. Jen, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Okay, let's do it then. Right now we're going to take a look at some of the different chest exercises you can do on your bodysolid home gym. First off, we're going to look at pressing type of actions. Some of the bodysolid home gyms will feature a more traditional setup like this. Some of the other pieces are going to feature the specially patented biangular motion. That type of action actually better replicates using dumbbells and will recruit about 25% more muscle fibers. So here we're demonstrating the chest press. What we've done is taken a quick opportunity to set this bench up so it's really comfortable for Jen. A couple different adjustments here. One is for seat height, and what you want to do is adjust that so that the handles are roughly around the middle of your chest. Then we can also move the back pad forward or back. So again, you've got a nice comfortable position there so that you're not going to overstress that shoulder when you perform the chest press. Now Jen's going to perform a few reps here just to show you the range of motion through the exercise. Nice and slow and controlled all the time. And then we're going to quickly demonstrate one of the different grips that you can also perform here, the vertical position, where you're in a little more neutral position with those wrists there. Again, targeting that chest just a little differently. Okay, I'm going to have Jen just jump off the equipment here, and now it's my turn to go to work. What I'm going to do is demonstrate an incline chest press, and I'm going to have Jen just adjust that weight plate for me, adding a little bit more. And I'm going to now place my hands in the upper grip position so we can target that upper chest really effectively. When you do this at home, you might be doing about 10 to 12 repetitions of each exercise. And based upon your goals, you may do 2 or 3 sets here with a little rest period in between. In order to work your chest, you can either do a single joint or double joint movement. A single joint movement would be moving, say in this particular case, just from the shoulder, versus maybe a chest press where you're using both the shoulder and the elbow joint. So right now I'm going to demonstrate that single joint movement, which is a chest fly. I'm going to reach around, grab a hold of the handles here. My feet are planted firmly on the floor, abdominals are engaged, and then I'm going to squeeze together so the handles come just in front of my chest. And then open to the side, and again. So we're working both the pecs, the chest, and the front of the shoulder on this particular exercise. Just do a couple more. And then what I'm going to have Jen do is just demonstrate a little different variation. So she's going to sit down, given the same position. She's going to reach around, grab the handles there, and apply just a little bit of pressure so she's got some tension on the muscle. Now she's going to work one arm at a time, and she's going to come just past the center or the midline of the body there. And this way she can really recruit a lot of muscle fibers. And she's also, when you work unilaterally, engaging those abdominals quite a bit more too. What we've done is remove the lat pull-down bar and attach a single D handle here. Jen is now going to lean forward. She's in a staggered stance position, and she's just going to bring that handle down and across in front of her body to really target that chest. Now the one thing that's nice about doing a unilateral type of movement where we just work one side at a time is we can get a really good range of motion there and really effectively work that muscle. Even though Jen is currently demonstrating the cable crossover from the upper pulley position or high pulley position You can also perform this with the mid pulley to target the middle of your chest, or from the low pulley position to target your lower chest. Okay, Jen, are you feeling that by now?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely feeling that.
In order to perform a shoulder press, what we've done is make a couple quick adjustments here. We've taken the seat a little higher, pulled the back pad a little further forward, and taken the bar in a forward position as well. Now Jen is leaning or hinging forward from the hips, nice long neutral spine. She's got her abdominals engaged, and now she's just pressing that bar forward and up to really effectively target both the front and middle part of her shoulder there. Here we're using the chest and back attachment to train the shoulders with an overhead military press. Jen's positioned herself up close to the leg attachment there, and she's taking an overhand grip, positioning herself so that bar is close to her shoulders and then pressing up slowly. This is a really effective way to train a good portion of the shoulder there. There's actually 3 parts to the shoulder. We're talking front, middle, and back, or anterior, medial, and posterior. And by training that muscle group from different angles, we're going to get better overall development there. So I'm going to have Jen actually turn around and just go from a slightly different angle here. Still working the same muscle group again, but now she's facing the other direction. One way to work the front of your shoulder or anterior deltoid is with a front raise. Again, I've got the single D handle here, and I'm just going to take my arm up to about shoulder level and then slowly bring it back down by my side. You always want to make sure that you control the descent there too. Sometimes people focus on just one part of the range of motion and neglect the other, but you want to make sure that it's smooth the entire way, nice and fluid. Now, immediately, you can just turn to the side and now work a little bit more through the middle of the shoulder, that medial deltoid. Again, I'm in a nice, comfortable, stable stance here, taking that arm off to the side, and I'm really feeling it right through the middle of the shoulder. Now, because we have 3 parts of the shoulder, we're going to target the back of the shoulder just by bringing our body a little further forward and doing a version of a reverse fly there. Again, one of those really important muscle groups to work for posture. If you play any kind of racket sports or golf, you might want to do some work for your shoulder rotator cuff. I'm going to demonstrate 2 different variations here. First one is called an external rotation of the shoulder. And so I'm grabbing with an overhand grip, and I'm just going to keep my elbow at my side and then externally rotate the shoulder, taking the outside of my hand away from my body. So that's working all the muscles in that shoulder capsule there. And then I'm going to demonstrate the other version, which is called an internal shoulder rotation. So now I'm taking that handle towards the center or midline of my body. And again, this is a weak area for most people, so it's really good that you incorporate this into your routine. There's a number of different back exercises you can do on your bodysolid home gym. What we've done first off is move that chest and back attachment in the forward locked storage position. Now I have Jen up against the back pad there, and her legs are comfortably underneath those lower pads as well. She's now going to reach overhead in a wide overhand grip, taking hold of that lat pull down bar, and she's going to pull it into her upper chest. Now you'll notice she's leading with her elbows and keeping her shoulders out of her ears. As she draws those elbows down, she's squeezing her shoulder blades together and really effectively working her entire upper back, back of her shoulders, and her biceps there too. That looks great, Jen. Now what I'm going to have her do is just do a little variation. She can now use an underhand grip much closer together. Still, same type of action. She's drawing her elbows in, this time much closer to her sides. keeping the shoulders out of her ears. And you'll notice that this is working her back and targeting those biceps a little bit more this time around. Remember, for demonstration purposes, we're just showing you a few repetitions. Generally, you're going to do maybe 10 or 12 or even up to 15 there. That's great. Okay, we're going to move on. Now, using that chest and back attachment, we're going to grab the lower part of the bar here and do a mid-row. Same type of action, drawing her shoulder blades back, leading with those elbows. Her chest is comfortably against that pad there. Perfect. Okay, a little variation as well. Using a vertical or neutral grip. Just a couple reps. And then I'll have you do the one last variation here. The overhand grip, bit more of a high row now, targeting a little bit more in that upper back, those postural muscles, really, really important there. That's great. Good. Again, a number of different exercises you can do, all from one seated position here. Another great exercise for your back is a straight arm pull down. What we've done is taken a quick second just to change the configuration slightly. You notice that we have a short piece of chain and then we have the lat pull down bar attached to that. Now I'm going to have Jen reach her arms out straight in front of her. She's got her palms on that bar, extended arms, and she's going to apply pressure into her palms to bring that bar down towards her upper thighs, keeping her abdominals fully engaged the entire time. So this is a great exercise for your core too, in addition to your upper back. Shoulders are down and out of her ears, and she's really taking her time through that movement. Everything's controlled all the time. Nice form.
Thank you.
This next exercise we're going to look at is a reverse fly. So Jen's going to sit down facing the pad this time around. We've got the chest fly bars all the way forward. She's now going to take a hold of those handles, extend her arms out wide to the side, and she's going to pull the attachment right back. So she's drawing her shoulder blades together right behind her. As she does that, she's engaging all these muscles right between her scapula, her shoulder blades, and effectively targeting back of the shoulder there. Most of us tend to be pretty weak in this region, so it's really important to develop those postural muscles. Jen's going to now exhibit how to do a bent over one arm row with the single D handle there. She's going to support herself on that front thigh. She's got a hold of the handle with her palm turned in. She's now going to lead with her elbow and sort of wrap it around her back a little bit. As she does that, she's drawing her shoulder blade in towards her spine to work all the postural muscles there, and specifically back of the shoulder and her lats too, that part of her back that forms the V. With that little bit of rotation, it's also incorporating some work into her abdominals, targeting those obliques. So the same exercise we just performed standing can also be performed in a seated position. Jen's going to grab a hold of that single D handle, position both of her feet up against the foot pads there, and I can have her lean right back, contract her abdominals to hold that spine stable, and then draw that elbow back. Now the primary muscle group she's working here, right through the lats, back of the shoulder, and between those shoulder blades too. Always remember, however many number of reps you perform on one side, you've got to also do on the other side, just so you ensure that you've got muscular balance there. Now to demonstrate an exercise we can actually do with the pro style bar, I'm going to unclip that D handle here. I'm going to have Jen position the pro style bar there for me. Thank you. And grabbing the bar, again, propping my feet up against the foot pads there, sitting nice and tall, and then pulling the bar in towards my lower rib cage. Always keeping your chest up and thinking about drawing your shoulder blades together behind you. Now this is a really effective exercise to work those lats, that part of your back that forms the V there. Variety is key in weight training. And one of the things the bodysolid home gyms offer is a wide variety of options that you can do. This is really important because you want to basically confuse your muscles. You don't want to do the same thing all the time. You want to provide lots of different alternatives so that you get the maximum muscle development there. What I'm going to do right now is show you a close grip pull down. Reaching overhead with the close grip bar, you're going to just draw it in towards your upper chest. And as you do that, you're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and really focus on leading with your elbows rather than leading with your hands. This particular exercise is effective for your lats, posterior deltoids, back of the shoulder, and right between those shoulder blades too. Good form and technique is important at all times, so you want to maintain a nice neutral spine and activate those abs too. A lot of people will work their abdominal muscles, but then they neglect the muscles of their back. And in order to promote balance, we want to make sure that we work the muscles that run up and down the length of our spine in opposition to those abdominals, what we call our spinal erectors. One way we can do that is with a back extension. Here's how you can perform it on your bodysolid home gym. Just by taking the standard bar that comes with your gym and positioning our feet up against the plates there, I'm going to go with a straight leg, extended spine, and then just lean back until I feel the muscles of that lower back start to kick in. Your abdominals are going to work through this as well, but you really got to make sure that you maintain proper alignment through your spine. So again, do about 10 or 12 repetitions, that's good. Take a second to target the back of your upper arms now, those triceps. What we've done here is, again, attach the short piece of chain and the short flat bar there. So I'm going to have you place your hands on top there. Now Jen's going to drop her shoulders, she's going to tuck her elbows in by her sides, and you notice that she's got her upper thighs pressed against the pads there, so she's in a nice stable position. Keeping her elbows tucked in by her sides, shoulders out of her ears, she's squeezing the back of that upper arm as she presses that bar down towards her legs. Her abdominals are tight the entire time. Excellent. And as she brings that bar up, she's being really mindful not to let those elbows move forward. A popular accessory you might want to take advantage of is a rope. It's a common piece of apparatus that you can purchase at pretty much any fitness equipment supply store. It would attach the same way you would the other bar here, and it's going to target that muscle just a little bit differently. A variation on a tricep exercise is doing a reverse grip press down. Right now we've got the easy curl bar. Jen's just going to grab a hold there and then position herself up close to the leg attachment, tuck her elbows in by her sides, and then extend her arms all the way until we get a nice contraction going on in that tricep, right in the back of that arm. Good, I'm going to have you do a few more repetitions there. Excellent. Now we are using the easy curl bar here. You can use the bar that comes with your bodysolid gym, and I'm going to show you another variation still. This is using the single D, and what we're going to do is just clip it on there, and this is just working one arm at a time, what we call a unilateral movement. So I'm just going to extend, same kind of motion, but now again, just working with one arm, keeping my elbow in by my side, going to full extension to target that tricep, and I'll just do a few on the other side as well. So you can see that muscular development there happening. It's always important to work a muscle group from a variety of different positions. What we're going to do here right now is target the tricep again, the back of that upper arm. We're going to do an overhead tricep extension. Now what I'm going to do is forward flex at my hips, take my arms up, and then extend away from my body, working to full extension of the elbow joint without locking out there. Now the key thing here too is to make sure that you keep your spine in what we refer to as a neutral position. So you're going to be using all those core stabilizers, your ab and back muscles, to keep that spine in alignment. So it's a great exercise, targeting a ton of different muscle groups all at once. It's often good to work a muscle group in isolation. Here we're going to show you how to do a tricep extension with just one arm at a time. So Jen's going to grab a hold of the single arm handle there. She's going to lean into the bodysolid home gym, hold on to it for good support, and then she's just going to extend her arm right back again, keeping the elbow lifted and squeezing with the back of her upper arm there. Her shoulder's working to stabilize, but then she's really effectively targeting that tricep. That's great. Keep in mind though, that you always want to make sure you do an equal number of repetitions on both sides to promote muscular balance. Now you may have noticed that Jen did an underhand grip. I'm just going to demonstrate a little variation, turning my palm away now using an overhand grip and doing the same exercise to target that muscle just a little bit differently.
You tired, Jeff?
Yeah, that's pretty much exhausted my tricep there. A great way to finish up your tricep exercises is with a tricep dip. Jen's going to come up here and place her hands just around the edge of the bench. She's then going to move her buttocks just off the edge, walk her feet out a little bit. She's still got her elbows well behind her. Now she's going to bend those elbows and extend them till her arms are straight but not locked out. She's got her shoulder blades drawn back together and her shoulders well out of her ears. And she's really working for a maximal contraction at the top of the range of motion there. Now you want to generally perform this exercise to the point of fatigue or close to overload there. When you're working your biceps, it's a good idea to vary your hand position. So you can use your palms turned up, palms turned in, or palms down. What I'm going to do now is demonstrate what we call a hammer curl using the rope, another common attachment that you can purchase at any fitness equipment supply store. Just taking hold of the rope there, elbows at my sides, I'm going to draw my thumbs up towards my shoulders, contracting the biceps, and again, my arms are just going to remain comfortably at my sides with my elbows positioned right beneath my shoulders. So curling all the way up and down. And again, this is palms turned in. Just one of the 3 different variations we can use to target those biceps. Want to get a bit of a pump in your biceps there? Here's a couple exercises. First off, that we can do with the single D handle there. I'm going to position one foot forward, one foot back. Nice tall spine there, placing one hand on my thigh, and then I'm going to perform a bicep curl, just working that one arm at a time. Drawing my palm up towards my shoulder, keeping my elbow lined right beneath my shoulder there, and really focusing on the contraction there on that bicep. Now another example of an exercise we can do with this particular handle is a concentration curl. In order to do that, I'm going to come down in a little bit of a squat, prop my elbow right against my thigh, other hand is supporting me there, and I'm going to curl now that palm up towards the midline of my body, keeping that elbow anchored there. And again, you always want to perform enough repetitions there to get to fatigue. When performing bicep exercises, you can use the traditional bar like Jen's got here that comes with your bodysolid gym. Or as an option, you may choose to purchase an easy curl bar to just give you a couple different variations there. When you're using the easy curl bar, you're going to have your palms turned up and just draw both palms up towards your shoulders there. You're always in a good stable stance, feet glued to the floor, your abs are engaged, tightening up your butt as well. And you're going to check that those elbows are right beneath your shoulders. You're never going to let them come forward. And drawing your palms all the way up and really feeling that peak contraction at the top. Now, something that you can do just to target those biceps and really fatigue them is what we call 21s. We're going to work through different ranges of motion for the bicep. So what you may want to do is perform 7 repetitions through the lower range of motion. After you've done that, perform 7 through the upper range of motion, stopping at about the 90-degree point each time, and then bring the bar all the way down and just really finish it off with a nice full range of motion set. That's going to just do your biceps right in. Don't neglect all the small muscle groups when you're training your arms. It's really important that we actually also work our wrist extensors and flexors. One way we can do that is by taking hold of the single D handle, palm turned up, and then curling our knuckles in towards our forearm there. The opposite would be with palm down, now taking the top of your hand towards your forearm. By incorporating both of these exercises into your program, you're going to make sure you have really good grip strength. One of the most effective ways to train your entire lower body, especially front of the thigh, those quadriceps, and our glutes or buttocks, is to do leg press. I'm just going to demonstrate that right now. What I've done is place both feet on the plate here, adjusted the weight stack so it's at an appropriate level, and I'm going to gently press away using all the muscles in the front of my thigh, almost to extension, but the knees are still soft. And then I'm going to bring that back in and perform just a series of repetitions there. You can hold on the handles at your side too, just for a little more stability. And keeping in mind that when we perform any kind of strength training, we're actually going through 2 different types of contractions. What's called a positive contraction and a negative contraction. Positive is when that muscle shortens, negative is when the muscle lengthens. And now what we're going to do is a little bit of eccentric or negative loading of the muscle. So I'm going to press out with both legs and then lift one foot off the plate and draw it in with the other leg. Then do the same thing with the other side. So that's going to target one leg exclusively there. And then I'm just going to bring it in gently. And I'm going to have Jen demonstrate a different exercise for you. So I'm just going to get off. Jen's going to have a seat. And I'm going to adjust the weight stack here. One thing to keep in mind, though, is that the pulley system here is actually working at a 2-to-1 ratio. So the stack itself is equivalent to double what it would be for any one of the other exercises that we perform here. So Jen started off with a leg press again, and now we're going to transition into a calf press. So she's just going to move her feet down to the bottom of the plate there, and then press away with the balls of her feet to target that lower leg really well. Excellent. What we're doing here is we're using the chest and bar attachment. We've moved it from the lock storage position to the other end, and I'm just going to reach under in an overhand grip, come close to the bar, lift up, position my feet accordingly, and then I'm going to lift up onto the balls of my feet there and really actively engage those calf muscles. Next up, we're going to show you how to perform a leg extension in your bodysolid home gym. So first, what we want to do is take a look at that chest and back attachment and make sure it's in the locked storage position. So we just move it all the way back there. Now I'm going to have Jen sit down here. And you'll notice that as she's getting into the seat, she's just going to wrap her legs over the top pads. And then the front of her lower leg is just going to go behind those lower pads. We've already set the weight to a comfortable level for her. And now she's just going to perform a leg extension, gradually extending from the knee there, going to full extension without locking out the joint though. And we're really targeting the front of the thigh on this particular exercise. How's that working for you?
Feels great, Jeff.
Whenever you're working your legs, you want to work both the front and back of the thigh. Now we're going to take a look at working those hamstrings by performing a single leg hamstring curl. You simply wrap your lower leg around the lower pad there, and then I've got my upper thigh pressed up against the rest of the pad. Now curling my calf up towards my glute. I'm actively engaging the muscles at the back of the thigh there. I'm in a nice supported position with one hand on the back pad here, the other one on the frame of the bodysolid gym. And when you perform this exercise, envision that your hamstring is kind of acting like a bicep. Same sort of contraction is happening there. A straight-legged deadlift is a good exercise that's going to target both your hamstrings, the back of the thigh, and also your glutes, your buttocks there. What you want to do is take hold of the straight bar that comes with your bodysolid home gym and position your feet about hip-width apart. You're going to keep your arms long and then just hinge from your hips, maintaining a nice neutral spine the entire time, so you're not going to round that back. Then pressing your heels, extend the spine. And you want to focus on the contraction, again, in the back of your thighs and in your glutes there. Standing erect and tall to finish each time. Think about lifting your chest. Now, a lot of people end up performing more of this exercise with their lower back. So do make sure that you're feeling this in your hamstrings and your glutes there. Probably one of the most popular pieces of equipment at your gym is the inner-outer thigh machine. Now the thing is, you're not going to have to stand in any lineups waiting for that equipment here. The bodysolid gym trains those muscles really effectively. Jen's now got the ankle cuff wrapped around that one foot. She's holding on firmly to the frame of the gym here, and she's drawing that leg across her body so she works the adductor muscle, that inner thigh there. Now, in addition to working that inner thigh, she's working her hips as stabilizers. Her abdominals are engaged, all of her core muscles there too. So it's really a great idea to work this type of exercise in a standing position. Now, we're going to show you how you can transition and go from working that inner thigh to the outer thigh. So what she's going to now do is undo that cuff, the Velcro closure on that cuff. She's going to slip that foot out, and it's now going to go around her other foot. She's just going to secure the Velcro strap there. Once again, holding onto the frame, and she's now going to take that outer leg towards the wall, just off to the side there. Her hips are squared off, her abdominals are engaged, she's got her shoulders relaxed, and she's really thinking about engaging the muscle right there at her side, her glute and her hip. Now, it's very simple to transition to another exercise to work that old butt there. So she's going to now turn towards the machine, hold on, contract her abs, and take her heel towards the wall right behind her. She's extending from the hip and contracting the gluteus maximus there, that butt. You all want buns of steel, don't you? This is one that'll definitely do it for you. Another exercise we can do with the ankle cuff is for the hip flexors. It's called hip flexion. What we've done is move the chest fly bar slightly forward, so Jen's going to be able to use that for support. She's still got the ankle cuff around her ankle there. She's facing away from the bodysolid gym, and now what she's going to do is drive that knee up and target the muscle right at the top of the thigh there, that hip flexor. This is a really good exercise if you do any kind of sprinting or anything like that where you need that explosive power in your hip. Good, we'll maybe do a couple more repetitions. That's great. So do you want to get a strong, sexy six-pack? The bodysolid home gym actually offers a great way for you to train your abdominals. What we have to do first, though, is make sure that that chest fly attachment is well out of the way. So we're going to move it into the locked storage position. And then Jen's going to sit down, and we're just going to bring the handles over her shoulders here. She's going to grab a hold and position her back right up against the pad. She's got her legs in a bit of a stride position. And now she's going to curl down, bring her ribs and hips together while drawing her navel into her spine to really effectively target the muscles all the way down the middle there, those rectus abdominals. I'm going to have you do a few more reps just to make sure you're really feeling that.
Oh, I'm really feeling that.
Perfect, that's the last one. Now I'm going to show you a little variation. This is to target what we often refer to as those love handles or the obliques. So all we're going to do this time is instead of curling towards the center, we're going to take it off to one side. So almost as if you're taking your chin towards one of your knees when the legs are in a stride position. And you bring your rib towards your opposite hip or thigh. You're definitely going to feel that. It's a really good idea to spend a few minutes focusing on stretching out those major muscle groups, whether you've done cardiovascular training or some muscle and strength conditioning. What we're going to do is spend a couple minutes here right now and target your entire body. We'll focus on the legs first, and we're going to get those hamstrings. Most people tend to be pretty tight here too. So we're just going to extend one leg out in front, place your hands mid-thigh, hinging forward at the hip and extending the spine. You're going to stay well supported there, drawing your toes in towards you and working for length through that leg that we're stretching. So you should just feel mild tension in the back of that leg, not to the point of pain, but just slight discomfort as you work to really lengthen that leg. Optimally, you want to try and hold your stretches for about 20 to 30 seconds if you can. And then we'll just do the same stretch on the other side. So again, positioning that foot out in front, squaring off your hips, hands mid-thigh, and you're totally relaxed through your upper body. Leaning forward, chest towards that wall in front of you, and you're going to sit right back into your tailbone there. And again, really working for length there. As that muscle starts to relax, you're going to be able to get a much greater stretch. It's always best to do these at the conclusion of your workout when your muscles are good and warm. Now let's target the front of the thigh. So what we're going to do for this is, if you want to hold on something that may help in terms of balance, you're just going to grab onto your shoelaces there, position the knee under your hip, and gently bring your hips forward until you feel a good stretch in the front of that thigh. And we'll do the same stretch on the other side. Just slightly taking that hip forward, knee aligned underneath your hip. If you don't feel quite enough of a stretch, you can draw that knee back slightly behind your hip. And now we're going to stretch up chest and shoulder. I'm just going to turn the side so you can see here. We're going to interlace our fingers, extend our arms down, and then draw them away from our buttocks there. Really opening up that chest so you get a good stretch through both the pecs and deltoid muscles there. Then next up, the back. So we're going to take those palms out in front, round our back slightly, and pull the shoulder blades apart so you're nice and wide across your upper back. Good. And then from there, let's stretch those shoulders. Placing your hand on your elbow or slightly down further on your forearm, dropping the shoulder out of your ear, and then pull the arm gently in towards your rib cage. So you should feel that stretch right through that middle part of your shoulder. And we'll do the same one on the other side. Dropping it down gently. Excellent. And then we're just going to reach overhead, get a tricep stretch. So you can place your hand on your elbow there, slide your hand down between your shoulder blades, apply just a little bit of pressure till you feel that stretch in the back of that upper arm. And we'll do the other side. Reach through, standing up nice and tall. Good, and release. Now we'll do one last stretch here for our calves. What we're going to do is place one foot out in front, the other leg behind, toes are pointing forward in both feet, and we're just going to lean gently on the front thigh. You're going to extend that back leg and try and drive the heel down into the floor, working for length there, so you feel the stretch of the lower leg. And then we'll step together and do the other side so that leg goes right back, leaning forward and extending that back knee. Excellent. And we're just going to take one last deep breath in here. Inhale, and then let all that tension go. Exhale out. Shh. And great job.
You are gonna scream now.
Throughout the rest of this DVD, we spent a good amount of time showing you how you can help develop good, strong, lean muscles. Another key factor in your fitness training program is actually cardiovascular training, something that can't be neglected. Generally, it's recommended that you probably train 2 to 3 times a week on some piece of cardiovascular training equipment or with some other type of aerobic activity. I'm right now on the bodysolid endurance treadmill, but you may choose to maybe use a stationary bike or elliptical trainer or some other tool in order to get your heart rate up for probably about 20 to 30 minutes each time you train. And as I said, 2 to 3 times a week is sort of the bare minimum. That way you're going to be able to elevate your heart rate, burn a fair number of calories, not just while you're doing the exercise, but for a good number of hours after as well.
At BodySolid, it is believed that quality comes from within, and that people truly make a difference. From its humble beginnings in 1981 to the industry leader it has grown to today, the BodySolid team's formula for success has always remained the same. Have a vision to be the best at what you do, and most importantly, have the desire to take you there. This simple formula is what makes BodySolid products the very best in the world. In the ever-changing world of fitness products and accessories, BodySolid's attention to detail is what's kept them on top. With their sleek designs, club-quality performance, and patented features such as biangular motion, BodySolid products are truly in a class of their own. This, in combination with the single strongest warranty in the business, leaves customers assured of 4 things: quality, durability, value, and results. For more information on BodySolid products, log on to www.bodysolid.com today. Also be sure to check the complete line of endurance cardio equipment. Whether you're looking for bikes, treadmills, or elliptical trainers, Endurance has got you covered.